Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever really, truly thought about the faucet in your bathroom? Probably not, right? It's just a tap. But what if I told you one company took that simple, everyday object and spun it into a billion-dollar global empire? Well, today we're going to deconstruct the incredible story of the Jaquar Group. To get a sense of just how big we're talking, let's start with this number: 6,540 crore rupees. That was Jaquar's revenue in the last financial year. That's nearly $1 billion from selling bathroom fittings. Pretty wild. So that's the big question for us today, isn't it? How on earth did they do it? How do you take something so functional, so basic, and build a financial juggernaut around it? Well, the answer is a fascinating mix of rock-solid financial discipline and truly brilliant brand strategy. All right, let's pull back the curtain and get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to start with the raw data, the hard numbers that prove Jaquar isn't just successful, it is a financial fortress. Now, take a look at this. This isn't just one lucky year. It's a clear pattern of just relentless growth, going from about 4,250 crores to over 6,500 in just a handful of years. That works out to a compound annual growth rate of up to 17%. You know, in the business world, that kind of consistent, powerful climb is basically the holy grail. Making a lot of money is one thing, but profit is what tells you if a business is truly healthy. And Jaquar is operating with some incredibly strong margins. We're talking about a 10% net profit after everything is paid for. Now, to put that into perspective, this is a company that has to buy tons of raw materials and run massive factories. They're a heavy industry player that's somehow operating with the kind of efficiency you'd expect from a lean tech company. Before I show you their next number, let's quickly talk about a key metric: return on equity, or ROE. All it really means is for every single rupee that shareholders have invested in the company, how much profit is the management team able to squeeze out? It's a fantastic measure of just how effective they are. And Jaquar's ROE? A very, very healthy 16.7%. This number just screams efficiency. It tells you they are using their capital incredibly well to generate returns. It's the sign of a well-oiled, highly profitable machine. But here it is. This might just be the most impressive number of all: 0. In a world where so many companies fuel their growth by taking on huge loans, Jaquar is basically debt-free. And look, this isn't just some boring accounting detail. It's their bedrock. It gives them the freedom to invest, to innovate, and to ride out any economic storm without ever being at the mercy of a bank. So those were the what, the incredible numbers. Now, let's dig into the how. How did they actually make this happen? Well, the answer lies in a complete masterstroke of strategy. They fundamentally changed how all of us think about a simple tap. This right here is the core of their genius. See, for decades, a tap was just a tap. It was a functional thing you bought based on price. Jaquar's big idea was to treat it like a piece of design. They completely shifted the conversation from pure function to things like design, quality, and aspiration. They turned a boring necessity into a lifestyle choice. And they were smart. They didn't just stop with one brand. They built a whole portfolio to capture the entire market. You've got Artize at the super high-end luxury segment. Then you've got the core Jaquar brand for that premium aspirational customer. And for the value-conscious buyer, there's Essco. This three-tiered attack means there's a Jaquar Group product for pretty much any home or project out there. So how does this brand strategy lead to such amazing profits? Well, it really boils down to 3 pillars. First, they do something called vertical integration, which is just a fancy way of saying they make almost everything themselves. By controlling the manufacturing, they control costs, and just as importantly, they control the quality. Second, because the brand is so strong, they can charge a premium. And third, their massive service network creates insane customer loyalty. They turn people who buy once into fans for life. Of course, a great strategy doesn't mean anything if you can't execute it. So now, let's look at the operational muscle that allowed Jaquar to take this incredible vision from India to the rest of the world. And you know, this didn't happen overnight. It was a long game. Founded way back in 1960, the company spent decades absolutely mastering its home turf in India. By the 2000s, they were the dominant force. And only then, from that position of strength, did they start their big global push. Today, that patient, deliberate strategy has paid off, with a presence in over 55 countries. To power that kind of global expansion, you need some serious manufacturing scale. And get this, from their 7 plants in India and 1 in South Korea, Jaquar can crank out around 45 million bath fittings every single year. That number alone should give you a sense of their industrial might. And that massive scale gives them a powerful edge. When they go up against domestic rivals like Hindware and Cera, Jaquar's ability to make everything in-house gives them an advantage on both cost and quality. When they face global giants like Kohler and Toto, it's their deep brand trust and that unbeatable service network that wins them the game. And against the huge unorganized sector, the Jaquar name itself is a guarantee of quality that the smaller guys just can't compete with. And don't think for a second they're just resting on their manufacturing laurels. A strategic partnership with a tech leader like Salesforce shows you they are absolutely focused on the future. They're using cutting-edge tools to manage customer relationships and streamline their operations for a global scale. So after all that, what are the big lessons we can all learn from this incredible story? Let's try to distill it all down into 3 powerful takeaways that apply to any business, not just bathroom fittings. Okay, lesson number 1, and this is the big one. Jaquar proves that if you consistently invest in building a brand for the long term, it is absolutely paramount. They took a simple product and through amazing design and marketing, they turned it into a valuable asset that commands both loyalty and pricing power. The second lesson is all about building what investors call a competitive moat. That's an advantage that protects your business from rivals. For Jaquar, that moat is a world-class customer experience. From their beautiful showrooms to their legendary after-sales service, they have built a wall of customer loyalty that competitors find almost impossible to get through. And finally, we come right back to the numbers. That near-zero debt status, it's not just a nice-to-have. It is a strategic weapon. That kind of financial discipline gives them the stability and the freedom they need to invest in growth, to weather any storm, and to jump on opportunities whenever they pop up. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Jaquar did it with a water tub. What seemingly boring, functional commodity in your world is just sitting there waiting for the right vision to transform it into an aspirational premium brand? You never know. The next billion-dollar idea might just be hiding in plain sight.